Can you think of a fear, something that might be standing between you and God right now? Maybe you've been thinking about a relationship with God, or getting started, trying something new, checking out a church, or joining a Bible study. I heard this crazy story last week of a mother who overcame her fear. She was driving down the road. She noticed this pile of smoke and saw this truck, and everybody was kind of standing around watching, and she looks into this truck, and there's the driver on fire, and everybody's standing around watching. She had just given birth to her son a couple of days beforehand. And most of us would think that of everybody in the crowd, she would have an out, that she would have a pretty good excuse not to do something about this. But as everybody's standing around watching, she can't help but think of her son, that if the driver were her son, she would want somebody to do something about it. So she runs towards the flames, and with the help of another driver, rescues this guy who's on fire. And as they're pulling him away from the truck, they notice this liquid at their feet, and she asks the driver whose truck was on fire, "What are you carrying?" And he says, "Jet fuel." And moments later, there's this huge explosion. But the point of the story is it was her love for her son. It was this vision that if this were her child, she would want somebody to save him. That's what gave her the courage to run into those flames. Now, many of us might tap into that sort of adrenaline in a moment like that, but what kind of courage do you need to overcome your daily fears when it comes to your personal walk with Christ, or your relationships? If you're having a hard time loving certain people in your lives, there's lots of fear in our day-to-day life that we have to overcome. And it takes vision, it takes love, it takes thinking about what's most important in our lives to overcome those fears. And that's what happens here in this story that we talked about on Sunday. It's the story of the Transfiguration in Matthew 17, but I want to go straight to this point where Jesus touches his scared disciples who are facing very uncertain days. They're going to witness how he's imprisoned, tortured, crucified, and then eventually they'll experience his resurrection. But he touches his disciples and he says, "Do not fear." His first commandment after this illuminating moment is to encourage his disciples to rise fearlessly. So as you face your fears this week, I wonder, what's the one thing that's standing between you and God? And I wonder if you're willing to let it go as you step out in faith to try that church out, to try a new Bible study, to do something different for the sake of your relationship with God and with the people around you. Take care, and God bless.